Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for clicking on my video. Sorry about the background. I'm at my mom's, and in this video I want to get back into pretty privilege. It's going to be a follow-up to the first couple videos I posted talking about pretty privilege. And I have a little bit more to say about it. And as I always tell you guys, my videos are just for educational purposes only, or entertainment purposes, whatever. I get into a lot of different things, spreading awareness, my own knowledge of things and perspectives, my experiences. Can't be responsible for what happens outside the video. I'm not telling you guys to go do anything. I'm just talking. But yeah, pretty privilege. Okay, I don't remember quite where I left off in the other videos. I told parts of my story, and okay, depending on context, what context you look at it in. Okay, everything in this world has a different context. You can be coming at it from a different perspective, a different point of view. And oftentimes people get stuck in one point of view with everything, just their point of view. But if we are to take ourselves out of our, point of view and maybe step in to someone else's shoes and see it from several different perspectives, or if we ourselves have actually walked in several different angles of it, if we have gotten privileges because we might have been attractive at some point in our life, and then on the flip side of that, we know also what it's like to suffer on the back end because someone more attractive than us got privileges and we didn't. Or because we put talent and time and effort into something and someone walked in because of some aesthetic, superficial, some surface shit, they walked away with the credit or the prize or promotion or what have you. Okay. Now, for me to finish that whole subject off, I want to be thorough, okay? And I want to be fair. Okay, so I've been giving it a little more thought today. And yes, pretty privilege is definitely a thing. I believe I said that in the other videos, but I also told it from a different perspective, where I have been rejected, honestly, like rejected and gotten into certain situations. I won't say necessarily because it would add up to because I was pretty. It was more to it than that. But it was because I overall either intimidated the person or I had a standard that they didn't want to, that's not where they were, or they were addicted, and, just certain shit we didn't match up, and they would go to people that were more on their vibe, were more on their level. And I have been in situations like that. It just depends on the people, but we'll get back more into that later. So I will say that there are times where, and like I said in my other videos, I'm getting older now. It is what it is. I'm accepting the aging process, and I'm doing what I can with what I have. Okay? Unfortunately, I'm getting to an age where I really hate to say it, but I think I have cataracts coming on. My vision has gotten a lot worse. It's like after 45, right at that point, everything hit at once. I'm going to be doing videos about that soon. And clearly, I've always had crooked teeth. I've had to learn to live with that and do the best I could. I could not afford braces, and I just accepted them the way they were. And they used to not be half as bad as they are now. But I've never liked my smile. I've always been very insecure about my teeth. But I've learned to live with it and do the best I can and love myself the best I can with what I have. Now, recently it's gotten a lot worse. I've got some serious dental issues and they need some work bad. So all of that, at this age, it's like, fuck, I have to work a lot harder in my soul to feel that love for myself and to keep that going and to feel, pretty at this age. It's just different. I'm not 25 anymore. But, back in those days, yeah, I would say I was somewhat pretty. I never felt dog ugly or anything. Okay, and so, I mean, I don't feel dog ugly now, but, you know, we all have shit in our head. We all have stuff that maybe other people can see us in a different light, but we see our shit every day. We see it up close. You know, it's like, for us, it's not like other people's perspective. We can be pretty tough on our own selves, and people don't think about that. What we might really feel like inside, and the work that it might take to even feel good about ourselves. Okay, so, but pretty privilege can be a damn thing in this world. Yes, it can. And you know, I realize that we live in a world that a lot of the time is largely superficial. And that's what people gravitate towards. It's not fair. It's the way it is. But I've seen situations like, for instance, in my city, a local, one of the biggest hangout, socializing bars in my city, everybody used to hang out there. They would have a Halloween contest, costume contest every year. And here is an example of what I think pretty privilege is. And in a way, it doesn't even matter if the girl looks like a dog in the face or she's pretty or not. You know, I mean, what is pretty anyway? What exactly? You know, aesthetically pleasing. Because to each their own. I mean, what one person might find attractive, another person might not find attractive. They might find it repulsive. So it just depends, okay? That can get kind of complex. But here's the thing. It wouldn't really be about pretty. It would just be about superficial bullshit. I would see men put time and effort and talent into their costumes. And women too, other women. I would see people in general put a lot of talent and really come up with some really clever costumes that I thought should win. That is what should win. Talent, effort, heart, soul, creativity. That is what should get credit. That is what should win in life. That is what should get credit and we should focus on, but it isn't, is it? Because guess who would walk right up there and win every fucking year? Some chick who went and got a cat suit, pushed her tits up, and took 5 minutes. You could barely see her face. She just had a little mask on. Probably didn't have to put any time into makeup. Pushed her tits up, stuck her little ass out, and there you go. And that's who fucking wins. And to me, that doesn't even have anything to do with pretty. It's like, really? Who the fuck's judging this contest anyway? What, I mean, you see what I'm saying? A lot of times, no, things aren't fair in this life. And I think there are occasions where women do get away with things because of sex, because of their sexuality. But it's all going to depend on the circumstance. We can't, and who's involved and what their mentality's like. We can't necessarily say it's always that way. And, you know, I think too many generalizations are made in the world. Now, again, I will say, yes, a lot of the masses can be superficial, and they go towards superficial shit. That sells. Sex sells. It's a big deal. It always will be a big deal. It is what it is, but I don't even think that's fair. I don't. I think the people that put their gifts, their time, their creativity, their imagination, the man or woman who does that, I believe those people should get the credit for it. And they should be recognized for that work. It shouldn't be about, well, who's aesthetically pleasing today, who's hot, who has the biggest tatas. That's it? That's who wins the costume contest? Somebody with tits? Because their tits were stuck out, so tits win? Well, what about this guy over here? And I believe that particular year, God, I can't remember exactly, But there were a couple of dudes that their costumes were just so clever to me. There was one guy who was walking around, and I guess he was supposed to be garbage, and he had on a big black garbage sack across his body, I think. And he literally had stuck on pieces of trash, like an old milk carton, a wadded up piece of paper, you know, a rind of pizza over here. It was clever. It was cute. It was the deal. I thought, you know, that's fucking cute and creative, man. That dude should win. And I can't remember. This has been tons and tons of years ago. He may have won, like, first or runner-up or something like that. But I swear to God, the catsuit girl got that shit most years. At least several years in a row. And then I quit going. But, okay, I get it. Okay, just to be fair. I want to be fair. I fucking get it. You know? And there are, you know, and dudes talk about this a lot from a certain perspective. It's all, and some women talk about it too. It doesn't matter what we look like, we can recognize when some shit is not fair. When it's superficial, right? We can recognize that when it's just not right. When it's based on bullshit. And okay, to a degree, yes, I agree that if that's what's going on, you know, and that could be part of a much larger conversation in the music industry, and oh God, we could just go from there. But I'm gonna keep it a little small and local, okay, with just my little shit. We could build onto it for sure. But yeah, I want to be fair. It does happen. There's a lot of shit that goes on in this world. And I also know that, yes, there are very manipulative women who do go around using their body, their sexuality, to get what they want from men that they deem vulnerable or susceptible to them. And sure, I believe all men, you know, most men, depending on their sexual preference, straight men anyway, tend to fall all over themselves for a pretty girl. It's just in their wiring. They just do. Okay? Ooh, you know, it's just how they are. Now, I'm not going to say all of them are susceptible to being manipulated, though. Not all of them are walking around and can just be drug around by the hair just because you have some tits. Or just because you're pretty. And I don't like women like that. I never have. Never have. But I do remember being a younger girl. And I remember as a teenager and early 20-something. Yeah. I remember, you know, I could get what I wanted from people because I was young and at the time cute. And, but you know, I never liked playing on things like that. I didn't like to have to do stuff like that. It felt weird to me. But yeah, there's a lot of that goes on in the world. And I don't think it's an entire gender. We've got to stop overgeneralizing. It's not all men. It's not all women. People tend to say, well, women get away with this. Or pretty women get away with this. Or men do that. It's specific to each individual and certain types with certain mentalities. Okay? Now, we can see patterns in people and groups and certain types. But even then, they're all individuals. And they have differences. Just the way it is. But I think it's all going to also depend on who you're freaking dealing with. Who you're dealing with. The emotional maturity of the man involved and the emotional maturity of the woman involved. It all comes down to that. What their mentality's like. Okay? But yeah, there are some shallow ass superficial people in this world. Absolutely. And You know, a lot of times, though, it's not aesthetics or it's not looks, to me, that even make somebody attractive. A lot of times, it's their energy. Oh, yeah. And I'm not necessarily talking about, you know, super kind, or, which I like kind people, of course, but I'm just talking about like an energy, man, like a confidence. Somebody who has learned to appreciate themselves and enjoy themselves, and they are inspired, and they have this certain energy about them. That makes a person attractive as hell to me. Yeah, I'm feeling real attractive right now. Look at my fucking roots. And I can barely see the camera. Like, seriously, this is crazy. Even from here. I was talking to my mother earlier about cataract surgery. Because my eyesight's getting worse and it's kind of scary. I don't like it. Yeah. But, so yeah, you guys, you know, anything I put out, I always want to be fair. And I want you guys to know that I understand. I understand there's all kinds of stuff going on in the world. And it just depends. It kind of depends on who you're dealing with. And I don't like superficial shit. I never have. And, you know, there have been times that it's crossed my mind because I've gotten in some pretty damn bad situations because I'm not a manipulator. Because in the past, I have had too much empathy. I have had too much compassion. I didn't have enough self-esteem. I didn't stand in that energy that was like, this is about me. It better be up to my standard or else. You know, and I'm getting to an age where I'm realizing there's nothing fucking wrong with that. As long as you're not crossing a certain line into extremely high narcissism, abuse, manipulation, and just, you don't give a shit about other people at all and their feelings at all. Okay, there has to be a balance. But self-care, self-respect, that's top, first and foremost, okay? And a lot of times in the past, it has crossed my mind because I would see these absolute bitches. Chicks that didn't give a fuck. No self-awareness, cheaters, liars, raging addicts, sloppy, didn't give a damn, not the type of chick that, and that doesn't matter either way. It doesn't matter if you are or you aren't, I'm just saying. Just not a very thoughtful person in a relationship, all about herself, not the type of chick that's gonna, you know, be up in the morning and, hey, babe, would you like some coffee? Breakfast before you hit the door. Hope you have a great day. Not any of that. No thoughtful shit. Just a layabout. I've seen that in both men and women. And unfortunately, a lot of times they're paired up with somebody who is thoughtful. Who does care. And it's unfortunate and unfair. And what I'm going to say about that, I told you guys in my other video about how I have been rejected before. It comes down to a certain type that we're attracting. It's inside of us, okay? I'm going to have to finish this in part 2.